for being part of the minyan. Maran writes in the Halachot of Nesiat Kapayim, Birkat Kohanim, that there is a certain conduct which the tzibur engages during the Birkat Kohanim. What should be the appropriate stance, position? Where do we focus our eyes? Maran writes, "B'sha'ah Kohanim mevarchim ha'am lo yabitu v'lo yasichu da'atam." The halacha is that we do not stare at the Kohanim. V'lo yasichu da'atam, we do not concentrate on other things. Ela yu einehem kilapei mata. Rather, the eyes should be focused downwards. Kemo she'omed batfilah. The similar position where a person is omed batfilah, he is standing in prayer. Also, there we are in a concentrated mode, and therefore he should be standing with his eyes down. Everybody should have in mind the bracha Birkat Kohanim, paying attention. That means v'yu pneihem keneged pnei kohanim, facing the Kohanim as well. V'lo yistaklu bahem, and we should not be looking at the Kohanim. Al pi halacha, the reason why we don't look at the Kohanim is actually very technical. It's because we don't want to be distracted. The whole point is that while the Kohanim are being mevarchim et ha'am, we are supposed to be concentrating on receiving the bracha. There are all different brachot, as we've read before when we were being mechazek the inyan of Birkat Kohanim. Every bracha possible in the world is contained in Birkat Kohanim. And a person is supposed to be concentrating on receiving that bracha in order for it to be chal on him. So therefore we don't stare at the Kohanim so as not to be distracted from focusing during the bracha. Mikar hadin, the halacha of not looking at the Kohanim really therefore means only to focus on them, to stare at them. It will be permitted for a person to glimpse at the Kohanim, because just a re'iyah k'tzat, a small glimpse, is not usually going to distract a person from his concentration. The reason why nowadays we have been minhag not even to glimpse at the Kohanim is really based on the original Birkat Kohanim in the Beit HaMikdash. In the Beit HaMikdash, the Birkat Kohanim was blessed with the Shem HaMeforash. And because of that, the actual Shekhinah was shorah on the hands of the Kohanim. Because the Shem HaMeforash was invoked, the Shekhinah was upon the hands of the Kohanim, and therefore was prohibited even listakel re'iyah k'tzat, even to see a small glimpse. That was a very high level of Kedusha. Now that the Kohanim do not use the Shem HaMeforash any longer in the Birkat Kohanim, so technically one would be allowed to do re'iyah k'tzat. Why? Because there is not the same type of Shekhinah resting upon the hands of Kohanim. However, the reason why we don't even look a little bit is beautiful thing, Zecher LeMikdash. Zecher LeMikdash as a commemoration, a recollection of how things used to be in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, and Bezrat Hashem b'mehera b'yameinu, it should be that way in our days as well. So therefore we continue with that same practice of not even looking at the Kohanim, but technically the person happens to have the re'iyah k'tzat, he views the hands of the Kohanim just in passing slightly, then that's not a violation of Halacha b'yameinu. To stare at the Kohanim, then the person is already sort of being mesiach da'at, he's now taking away his concentration, he's focusing on something else. That's the violation. You have to make sure that a person is in a stance, in a position, eyes focused, concentration focused, that he should be able to receive the Birkat Kohanim with proper kavanah, and that's why we don't stare. But mikar hadin, to look at the Kohen just for a moment, mikar hadin, that would not be a problem. Certainly according to our minhag, where the Kohanim cover their hands as well with the talit. Some minhagim have the Kohanim have the hands outside the talit. Certainly according to our minhag, if the hands are covered by the talit, then re'iyah k'tzat is not a problem. Rabbi Hananiah ben Akashya omer, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיכך